Hello, my fellow horsemen from wherever it is you're from. I'm from Mexico. I'm in Mexico City to be precise. And today I'm here to share some of the insights of the German training scale, which is, I think, a fabulous guide. A fabulous guide for everybody who rides a horse. It doesn't matter the discipline that you practice, but it is absolutely necessary to understand these basic principles. Now, first of all, what is the German training scale? The German training scale is a series of 6 concepts, precisely 6 words that give you a huge concept of the basics of riding, of the necessities of the most basic needs when you ride a horse. Okay. Now, this you can find in the German Federation Manual of Training. You can find the German training scale explained in absolute detail. But I'm going to give you my version of it, what I make of it, and I obviously think about it all the time because these are basic, like I say, basic necessities for riding a horse properly. So anyway, let's begin. It's a series of 6 concepts. They go in order because one follows the next. You can't skip. In other words, you shouldn't skip one. You do one to achieve the next one, to achieve the next one, to achieve the next one. Okay. So the first essential, or the first concept of the German training scale is rhythm. The first thing is rhythm. Now this means that horses should move in rhythm. They should, when being ridden, they should be moving in rhythm. So if they're walking, their walk is rhythmical, the trot is rhythmical, the canter is rhythmical, the gallop is rhythmical. They got to move in rhythm. You know, a horse that's choppy, that irregular, that horse is not. That horse is going to go lame on you. He's going to go lame on you. He's going to contract. He's going to have a lot of problems. You got to walk in rhythm. You got to trot in rhythm. The horse, while being ridden, has to be moving in rhythm. Okay. So that's the first point. Again, I'm going to do it very briefly, very summarized. Hopefully, I'll awaken some curiosity in you, and you might expand and read the German manual. The German Federation Manual of Riding, and expand on this a little more. But anyway, when I was exposed to this in a FEI course for instructors, and they mentioned this, and wow, boy, did it really rung a bell. It really impacted me in my riding, and gave me a lot of good ideas. So anyway. Let's move on to the second concept. First concept is rhythm. Second concept is contact. Okay? So the horse must be moving in rhythm, but the rider must be in contact with the horse. So being in contact with the horse means that you have to have contact in your hands, contact in your legs, contact in your seat. That means you're connected to the horse throughout these contacts. That means if the horse is moving in rhythm, so are you. In other words, the horse should be moving in rhythm, and then the horse must be in contact in this rhythm. You should be in contact with this rhythm. All right? You should be close enough that you're in contact with this rhythm. That doesn't mean pressure. It doesn't mean you put the pressure on the horse. It means you're in contact with the horse. So the way I see it is, the horse is going to start moving in rhythm, and so are you going to start moving in rhythm with the horse. Your movements will be in the rhythm of the horse. So second point is contact. Now we move on to the third concept. Third concept to me is one of the things I love the most. Okay, it's called looseness. They call it looseness. Looseness is absence of restriction. Okay. In other words, the movements of the horse have to be complete. The horse is going to move his legs completely. Looseness. The rider has to be loose. There's no contraction. You have to be loose. The movements of the horse have to be loose. So you have rhythm, you have contact, and you have looseness. Okay. Just imagine the picture you're starting to produce. Imagine the picture you're starting to produce as you're riding your horse in rhythm, in contact, and with looseness. I get a nice picture. Seems pretty nice to me. Next concept, after the looseness, is impulsion. Impulsion. That comes next. Is impulsion. Why they have it? The people who thought about this, they really thought about it correctly. If you think about it, impulsion is the urge to go forward. Is the horse thinking forward? Impulsion is the horse. The horse's intention is forward, to go forward, to go forward. The horse's energy is forward. It's in his forehead, wanting to go forward. The horse wants to go forward. That's impulsion. Now, if you don't have rhythm and you go forward, you have a horse running away. If you don't have looseness and the horse is forward, well, then you have a horse very, braced against you going forward. If you don't have contact and the horses go forward, you don't control. You're not part of this movement. So it totally makes sense. So you have rhythm, you have contact, you have looseness, and you have impulsion. Okay. What comes next? We're talking now the fifth concept of the German training scale will now be straightness. Straightness. Oh, straightness. Boy, is that ever complicated. Straightness. There are entire books written on the subject of straightness. The German master Gustav Steinbrück, 90% of his book talks about straightness. How do you go about making a horse straight? How do you make him straight? That's extremely complicated. That's extremely complicated to make a horse straight. You can really go deep in this, and I suggest you do. If you want to develop your riding to the highest possible point, I suggest you study this up. But straightness has many details, because straightness has to do with the horse's hips, has to do with the horse's footsteps, has to do with the horse's shoulders, has to do with the horse's spine. You're going on a straight line. Well, straightness is straight. There's no difficulty on that, to understand that. But if you're going on a circle, then you have to bend the horse. You have to incurve the horse, incurvate the horse. And then the horse's shoulders, they have to be lined up. They have to be moving, parallel. I could go on and on and on. But anyway, straightness is the number 5 concept of the German training scale. And straightness is of the utmost importance. Okay, but why is number 5? Because you want to start with a loose horse. You want to start with a rhythmical horse. To make him straight, the horse, you have to feel how he's moving, so you can make him straight as he's moving. As Buck Brenneman once said, he says you can't affect the horse's movement of a leg when it's on the ground. You affect it when it's coming off the ground. Then you can affect where it goes, and where it goes it's part of how you get the straightness. So if you have a horse in rhythm, you can feel where that leg is going, at what time it's going up, and then maybe you can do something about it to make him straight. If you have a horse that doesn't have looseness, that is contracted, how can you make him straight? If he's stiff and contracted, how can you make him straight? So you got to get this looseness, so then you can start moving these parts, so these parts go in the correct place, and then you start to achieve true straightness. Okay. Anyway, I said this was going to be the quick version, but I get excited because there's so much to say about all these concepts. The sixth concept after straightness is collection. And again, entire books written on collection. They speak about collection. Now, collection is the last part. What is collection? Collection is when the horse will do this. You know, he will come up. He will come up in the middle. Legs come under. They come together. The horse is in collection. Is the position the horse is able to adopt once he has looseness, once he has rhythm, once he has looseness, once he has impulsion, once he has straightness, and you're in contact, then the horse can adopt the position of collection. And the position of collection is a position of athletic disposition. When a horse is collected, the horse is ready to do an athletic effort, like jumping, like bullfighting, like passage. You know, I don't care what horse, or a cutting horse. Once a horse is collected, he's in a position to make a quick move, a quick athletic, or slow, but athletic effort. So collection is absolutely necessary for any ridden horse. It is the ultimate goal. It is the sixth concept of the German training scale. And once you achieve collection, you know, I can assure you, you will ensure having a sound horse. Collection makes a horse sound. Proper collection, not pseudo collection. Collection is not pressure. I've seen a horse absolutely maximum collection with a loose rein, with completely relaxed legs. Where have I seen this? I've seen this with Nuno Oliveira. I've seen this with Pablo Hermoso de Mendoza. I've seen this with Scott Brash. I've seen this with Steve Gerdad. I've seen this with B.C. Madden. I'm giving you examples of different disciplines, top riders who collect the horse properly, and it's not about the pressure. It's not about the pressure. It's about teaching the horse to adopt this position, to raise the base of the neck, to flex the hips, get the hind legs under, to activate the hind legs, to activate the muscles of the bottom line, to release the top line, to completely have no decontraction of the top line. And then you have a collected horse where the rider is only indicating collection, not forcing collection. So anyway, once you have true collection, your horses will hardly ever be lame. Collection ensures soundness on a horse. Okay, so anyway, to conclude, you have rhythm, contact, looseness, impulsion, straightness, and the sixth is collection. Now, why do we want to go through all these things? Why do we want to go through all this process? What are we trying to achieve with this process? Well, the ultimate goal of the German training scale is to achieve submission. The ultimate goal is you get submission. Now, submission is a wonderful word. Submission is when a horse gives himself to you. He's giving himself to you. He's putting himself in your hands. That's submission. Submission is not slavery. Submission is not being threatened. Submission is when a horse says, okay, I surrender myself to you. I will be with you. I surrender myself to you. Submission is the ultimate. And then when you have submission, well then of course you're going to have harmony. And whatever activity you do with horses, you're going to have harmony. Because that horse is going to be happy to be going with you. The horse is going to be, a horse cannot submit if he doesn't completely trust you. And a horse doesn't completely trust you if he doesn't feel happy with you, if he doesn't feel comfortable with you. So by achieving the German training skill, you should have a happy horse. If you don't have a happy horse, something went wrong. Along the way, something went wrong. By the end of the training scale, you should have a super happy horse. He's happy to be with you. He's happy to be doing the work. He's happy to be doing the job. He's happy to go with you to whatever activity you're taking him to. So anyway, I'll leave you with this. I hope it helps some. I'm one that is in the search. I'm in the eternal search of understanding this thing called writing, understanding these wonderful animals called horses, and I feel responsible to know as much as possible, as much as I can during my lifetime, to learn as much as I can, so I can be of benefit to these wonderful animals, these wonderful, wonderful animals called horses, which give us so much. So I hope this can be of an insight, it can be of help, and until the next time.